This program has been made possible in part by
I want to welcome Andrea Wong, and she's going to show us a Portuguese knitting technique. And we've learned the basics here before, correct?
That's correct.
Oh, well, welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
an author and a designer. I'm so anxious to see this technique. I didn't say that.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
And today what I want to show you is how to use two-color knitting or stranded knitting using the Portuguese method.
Okay.
This is a very old way of knitting, and it's done in different countries like Portugal, Turkey, Bulgaria, Egypt. I learned in South America, and it's a very efficient way of knitting, and also it makes the purl stitch very easy.
Okay.
So when I work
it's all gonna be
two-color
purl.
knittings, yes, I usually purl.
Okay.
In this instance, we're going to be working in a hat, and the hat is going to be worked inside out. So I'm going to purl all the rounds.
Okay.
I'm going to teach you how to set up, because this style of knitting requires that you put the yarn around your neck,
Okay.
or put the yarn around this knitting pin I have on my shoulder.
Okay.
Here I have some examples of knitting pins I use. This is, the regular little pin, and those are a little bit more fancy. But they all work, and actually you don't need the pin. You could put just around your neck.
Okay. Well, how do you put them on the pin? Like that?
Yes, the yarn would come from the work,
Okay.
and then you would hang around the pin,
All right.
and you would tension around a finger. Any finger would do, but you need to keep the tension constant.
Okay.
That's the secret of this technique. So you don't put the tension on your hands. The
Okay.
tension is on the yarn at all times.
And then you put the red color on the other pin?
That's correct. I will put the other color on the other pin.
Okay.
So you keep the two colors separate. They don't get tangled. It's very easy to work with. You can keep the balls on the side.
All right.
And let me give you just a little demo in how to do the purl stitch again. With the purl stitch, you would insert the right hand needle straight into the stitch,
Correct.
as if to purl. With my thumb, I would bring the yarn, put around the needle,
Okay.
pull it through, and off the left hand needle.
That's very efficient, isn't it?
Very efficient, yes. I'm going to do this a couple more times, so that would be the purl stitch.
Okay.
Now I'm going to introduce the other color, which is the red. What usually I was going to say is that you have a main color and you have a background color in a two-color knitting or stranded knitting.
Yeah.
And my main color knitting using the Portuguese style with the purl side facing would be always what sits on my right. You have to keep this in mind. Now here is my background color. Okay, so I could use, for example, one stitch of main color, one stitch
Stitch
of
of red.
background. Yes.
Okay. And now how does that look on the back?
In
When
the
you-
back, that's the advantage. When you keep your floats or carrying the yarn on outside the hat, you tend to have a very even tension from the
Yes,
beginning.
yes.
The fabric wouldn't pucker all together. Now, there is one more thing I want to talk about, because when you work with two colors and have a main color and a background color,
Yes.
there are some instances that you want to trap the yarn in order to not have big floats, as I left here on purpose.
You're really saying you want to carry the yarn?
Yes, you want to put it and tuck inside together, because if you would be knitting a sweater or a mitten, you don't want to catch your finger on those long
That's
carries.
too big a float. Yeah.
Correct. So in the case that I'm working with the background color, in the case my red color, I would work 5 reds, for example. On the third red, I would stop here, bring my main color around.
You're wrapping it around your needle.
I am.
Okay.
I would bring my background color and take the main color away from the needle.
Okay. Before you made your stitch.
Correct. Now I work this, and I work one more background color, and see the white is trapped
Much
in there.
smaller.
Yes.
Much smaller.
Correct.
Well, let's do that one more time, because
Okay.
that's very interesting.
I'll do 1, 2, and now I'm trapping the main color on the third stitch. I'll bring the main color around.
So you really bring it from the bottom of the needle.
From the bottom around behind, and then I put my background color right here, and I would take that away. In this way, you trap the color right there.
And there's no chance of knitting or purling it in.
Correct.
Okay.
On the
Is 3 always your maximum when you're doing that?
No, you know, if you look at here, my motif, you have 1 and 1, you have 3 and 1. It depends on where in the graphic or the chart
Okay.
you are.
Okay.
But usually, I don't carry my yarn for longer than
Okay.
5 stitches.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about, is this the same hat?
Yes, this is the same hat. Of course, used in different colors. I have the background color in white and the main color in orange. Here is the reverse pattern with the dark color as the background and a light color. And I have some other examples too of two-color knitting, stranded knitting with other patterns.
Well, you are very talented.
Thank you, thank you.
And this colorful one?
Yes, this is a child hat. Actually, reminding, I was inspired by Peruvian knitting, Peruvian designs. They are the ones that usually work inside out like I'm doing.
Yes.
But instead of having the pin, they carry the colors all around their neck, going in different directions. But this is it's an inspired
Well,
motif.
that's lovely. Well, thank you.
Thank
I
you,
really enjoyed
Shay.
learning that technique.
I'm glad.